Good morning. Last Sunday we began a series, God Provides, and Seth led us off with talking about Cain and Abel and the difference of the sacrifices or the offerings that they brought to the Lord. Are we bringing our best? Are we bringing what God has entrusted to us really as an act of worship, as an act of love and devotion, because God has given all that we need for life and godliness. He's given us his very own son. How can he give us more even than that? Well, this week we're going to talk about the very specific issue of tithing. In the Old Testament law, 1/10 of the crops and the animals was to be brought to the Lord. The Lord says, I own this. This is mine, and you're to bring it to me. In addition to that, there were offerings of thanksgiving, were just out of gratitude and response to God's provision and God's grace. So the question is, how does that Old Testament legislation, the 1/10, the tithe, relate to us today? There's aspects of the Old Testament law that we certainly hold to and keep. The Ten Commandments would be one. But there's other aspects we don't, such as the food laws or even some of the different days of the week or even seasons of the year. Jesus talked a lot about money and talked about really giving up with everything we have, with open hands towards him. The Apostle Paul gave the example of the Macedonian believers who gave beyond what they were able to give. It sounds like they were not so concerned about the tithe. In fact, they were willing and eager to give really everything they had for the cause of the gospel and the kingdom. What if the tithe was not just some lofty ideal or some goal that maybe some ancient people ascribed to? What if it was really a foundation from which we can build on and which we can grow from, trusting that God provides? Well, we're going to wrestle with these questions this Sunday. We'll see you then.